So today we are talking wash and goes. Now many people have tried and many people have failed, especially people in the 4C hair community, including myself. So what I want to do in this video is I want to share my experience with wash and goes and how it was a fail for me. But I also want to pose the question, is this a hairstyle that is beneficial for our hair growth journey, especially if you have 4C hair? So with that being said, let's get into this video. So back in the day when I was growing my hair and starting off on my hair growth journey, I decided to try a wash and go. My hair had gotten to a certain length and I kept seeing people doing wash and goes. I saw them with their beautiful hair and I decided, let me give it a try. I wasn't doing it for the look because my hair texture was very different from a lot of the girls who were doing it. However, I was doing it for the convenience factor. So I was thinking I would jump in the shower, wash my hair, put in a detangler, come out with put in some sort of leave-in or gel, and then just rock my hair in its curly state. However, I went in the shower, I got it wet, I washed my hair, and from there it was over. Like, there was no wash and go, it was just a wash, and then it was a tangled, matted mess. It was a disaster. And a matter of fact, when I came out of the shower, I tried to detangle my hair, and the knots were at the root and the ends and in the middle. It took me hours to detangle my hair and I lost a lot of hair. I incurred a lot of breakage and a lot of damage. And from that point on, I decided that wash and goes were not for my hair and probably not even for 4C hair in general. But I will ask you the question, if you are somebody with 4C hair, have you ever tried wash and goes? And if you have, what were your results? Did you find that your hair was beautiful and bouncy and curly and you really loved that look? Was it convenient for you? Or did you find out that there was damage and that it was more tangled when you had to detangle it? Tell me your experience because I would really like to know. As far as my hair growth journey went, the experience was terrible. It was a fail. And to be honest with you, that day, I wish I had never done that wash and go. So upon reflecting on that experience, I decided to do some research to figure out, well, what is a wash and go? Who are they for? What was the purpose of it? Now, I was reading online that wash and goes were specifically a hairstyle designed to accentuate people's natural curl texture. So if you have, 4B hair or 4A hair, maybe even 3, maybe even in the 2s, and you are getting waves, coils, curls, ringlets, and you go in the shower and your ringlets, your natural hair texture is then exposed, what you would do is you would just go ahead, wet it, wash it, maybe even detangle it, and then when you come out, you would put on some sort of gel, some sort of leave-in, and your natural curl pattern would be left for you to wear throughout the day. And I had seen many people do it with various hair types. However, when it came to people with 4C hair, I did not see the wash and go signature look. And I was reading an article online that said, wash and goes is a method of styling your hair without using any heat or manipulation. You literally wash it, add in your styling products, and let it do its thing. So based on the definition, I found that when I would do research on people with really kinky, coily hair, especially people in the 4C community, what I realized was that in order to achieve the wash and go look or to achieve the style, a lot of us would use heat or a lot of us would use some sort of manipulation, whether you're putting your hair in bantu knots, letting it dry a bit, then letting it out, or whether you put your hair in some sort of twist or braid, let it dry a little bit, and then let that out. With the heat and the manipulation, I felt like it wasn't based on what the actual definition of a wash and go is. So now, based on what the actual definition of a wash and go is, I realized that I was not able to achieve that look or even that method of doing my hair. I'm not able with 4C hair to go into the shower, wash it, get it wet, put in a styling gel, and just go about my day without heavy manipulation. And so a wash and go on 4C hair, on natural 4C hair, is actually unnatural if you're trying to achieve a look based on the definition of what a wash and go is. Now, when you are using heat or when you are manipulating your hair to get the style of a wash and go, that's where I find a lot of people, especially in the 4C hair community, are experiencing breakage, damage, split ends, hair loss. And so based on the definition, based on my experience, I would say, and I would beg to ask the question, should we be doing wash and goes on our 4C hair, even 4B hair, to get the best results on our hair growth journey. So based on the question, I would like to answer the question, and this is just my opinion. Please tell me if you've had a different experience, because I'm just one person with 4C hair who's had this experience. But if you've had a different experience, feel free to share it. I would love to hear, I would love to know if you were able to do it and how. But based on my experience, there are some reasons why I would not advise people with 4C hair to do wash and goes, especially if you are trying to grow your hair. If you are now just more interested in the look and you could care less about hair growth, then by all means, wash and go it up. However, if you are interested in getting longer hair, getting thicker hair, getting fuller hair, and just really you have a goal that you want to achieve, then I want to state some of the reasons why I don't think wash and goes are great, especially for 4B, 4C hair. Now, one of the reasons why is because, one, you are going to incur a lot of matting, a lot of tangles. And when you are in the shower, you are wetting your hair. Our hair naturally will shrink into a teeny weeny afro, and that is our natural texture for people with 4C hair. It is going to shrink. You can have super long hair, and as soon as you get it wet, it's going to shrink. And so right there, in order to even get an elongated look, to get a fuller look, then you do have to do a lot of manipulation, whether you're combing it, whether you're stretching it, once again using heat. And this is where you're gonna find a majority of damage, is the manipulation. It's the heat. It's the constantly going through with the comb to try and even perfect a look that our natural 4C hair doesn't naturally look like. Now, another reason why I wouldn't particularly recommend wash and goes for people with 4C hair is not only does your hair get matted, but it also gets really dry when you leave it out. Now, I know there are a lot of hair types that can put in some sort of leave-in, and they can go throughout the day, and the leave-in with the wash and go style actually keeps their hair more moisturized. Whereas with 4C hair, especially if you have high porosity hair, when you go out into the elements, your hair is gonna be dried out so quickly. So with your hair being exposed to the elements, with it being super dry, now when you have to go back home to re-moisturize or put it in some sort of protective style, once again, you're gonna have to go and manipulate your hair, and that is where you're gonna see more breakage, more damage. So between the matting and the dryness, another reason why I personally wouldn't do another wash and go ever again is because it is so inconvenient. I really liked the idea of wash and goes being convenient, just hopping in the shower and getting out and then just leaving your hair in its natural state. But what I realized was that once again, when I left my hair in its natural state, not only was it matted, not only was it more dry, and because of that, I actually spent more time detangling, styling, moisturizing, putting it in a style when I came home at night, whatever the case was, it just was so inconvenient. And these are the reasons why I've noticed that it didn't help me on my hair growth journey. If, in a matter of fact, it probably set me back a little bit. But it's just really not a hairstyle that I would ever do on my 4C hair. And I am all about helping you guys to get your hair growing and flourishing, getting it longer, stronger, thicker. And I really don't think that wash and goes really helps to achieve that, especially if you have 4C hair, especially if you are on a hair growth journey. So with all of that being said, if you have 4C hair and you are on a hair growth journey, are wash and goes for you? Are wash and goes for me? Should I try again? Was it convenient for you? I would love to know. And if so, how did you do it? What were you using? And feel free to leave it in the comments below for all of the other 4C ladies or men who would also like to do wash and goes successfully. However, because I am in the business of helping you to grow longer, stronger, thicker, fuller hair, I personally would not recommend wash and goes on 4C hair, but that is just my humble opinion. I would love to know your perspective. So if this video was helpful for you, if you've learned anything, or if you just feel like you can relate to me, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But most of all, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. Don't be a stranger. Let's stay connected, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.